everybody, and welcome back to Mom Mondays. I just want to start off by saying I am so sorry. I haven't posted in like 2 weeks. I've been so sick. No, I do not have corona, but I did have a flu. And now that my flu is getting better and it's over with, it's time to get back to our regular schedule programming. So, without any further ado, let's see what's on the agenda for today. So for today's agenda, we have share your story, emergency teaching, sleeping with your kids, separation news, kids and certain toys. Okay, so for the share your story, I'm going to do my story with my second daughter, Shazaya. With Shazaya, things were so different, and let me tell you why. I was so beyond frustrated with that pregnancy. I was so impatient to a point where I was like, okay, you know what? I want her out. I'm going to try this castor oil method. Nobody told me with this castor oil method that I'd be shitting myself like crazy, okay? So I took it. It failed 3 times. And the 3 times I did take it, I wasn't in the washroom or anything. So I was just like, oh, okay, I'm fine. Everything's okay. Girls, let me tell you. The last time I took that castor oil, I was in the washroom. I shit myself. I couldn't get out of the washroom. My belly was running. Oh my goodness. It was so bad. But it worked. Let me tell you. Around a couple hours after, when I thought that I was okay, I was in active labor. By the time I got to the actual hospital and said, okay, it's time to have her and whatever, I was like 5 centimeters dilated. She came within 5 hours. Everything was just so smooth, so easy. She came out, and I didn't shit when she came out because, well, damn, my body was already friggin' cleaned out. But let me tell you, that castor oil is no joke. It is no joke at all. It was, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't. Mainly because, bruh, you're not gonna be able to get off that toilet at all. I think that was the worst part of it. The whole pregnancy was okay, but that castor oil, that was hard. Don't do it. It was bad. I know you guys hear my kids singing right now about mommy finger, daddy finger. I hate that damn song, guys. I hate it. I'm so tired of Coco Melon. Okay guys, so the next category is emergency teaching, and I actually put this one in because I felt like it was a pretty important topic. So as I had let you guys know earlier, I've been sick for the past couple weeks, and because it's me and the kids here for a majority of the day and majority of the week, just us, I thought it would have been a good idea to teach Azalea what to do in a situation where, I had an asthma attack, because I am a severe asthmatic, and my asthma, it flares up so much, so quickly, so frequently. I just thought it would be a good idea to let her know what happens so she isn't panicking. So I'm going to let you guys know how I did that. And I feel like the first step is they have to be able to identify the emergency. So I had let Azalea know what asthma is, not only what it was, but what it looks like, what it sounds like. So that way she was able to recognize, okay, this is mommy having an asthma attack. That's the first step, sorry. Once your child understands what the emergency is, what the emergency looks like, you can then move forward. So after that, I taught her, once you see mommy acting like this, once you see mommy doing this, okay, mommy's sick, mommy needs help. The next step would be call somebody, turn on the hot water, help mommy to the water if you're able to. If it's really bad, I even let her know, okay, this is our code. You could do whatever you want for your code. So, for example, if you're in danger and you need help and you go like this, that'll be you and your child's little code. Okay, mommy needs help. This is what we do. You get what I'm saying? And so, honestly, it does take a while because sometimes kids don't get it. And because you guys are role-playing and everything, they kind of take it for a joke. So you really do need to have patience in teaching them. And I did with Azalea, but I would do little drills with her where, I didn't scare her or anything, but I'll be sitting there and in the middle of us watching a movie or whatever, I'll pretend to have an asthma attack. So that way, I want to see just how much it is she's learning, how much it is she's understanding from what it is I'm teaching her. So I'll pretend to have little asthma attacks and she'll respond correctly. She knows what to do. And I feel like that was an important skill because at the end of the day, if nobody's here and I have an asthma attack, that's something I can actually die from. So with her knowing what to do, I know at the end of the day that I'm gonna be okay, her sister will be okay, and she's a little hero, which every kid loves to feel like a hero, right? So when teaching them, the first step is making sure they understand what the emergency is, how the emergency comes about, what to do when the emergency happens, whether it's to call for help, whether it's to call for daddy. A good idea also would be make sure your child is able to access your phone. I know that sounds a little weird, like why would we want our kid to access our phone? But again, in those emergency situations, they have to be able to, like, my daughter knows the password to my phone. I teach her how to draw the pattern on my phone all the time to a point where she will now do it herself and text. So I let her know, okay, this is the pattern. Only me and you know it. When anything happens, you go into mommy's phone and you call daddy or you call 911. Whichever way it wants to work. You make sure you know what you're doing, you understand, you speak clearly, you let them know. And that's another important thing too. When you teach your child to call the ambulance or, call 911 for help, they have to be able to identify what's going on. So I let Azalea know, okay, when mommy sounds a certain type of way, it means mommy can't breathe. If mommy's shaking, this is what it means. So you can tell the ambulance that, okay, this is what's going on. This is what's happening to my mommy. This is what I did to try and help my mommy. Please come here. I think this is an amazing skill for our children to have. I think it's an amazing skill for our children to know, because at the end of the day, if you are a parent who's at home majority of the time with your kids and you do have health issues, you don't want to go through a little health scare and your child is just sitting there panicking, unable to help you, unable to help his or herself, unable to do anything. And I don't want her panicking like, oh my god, mommy's gonna die. Like, I don't want that happening. So I did teach her, her little 1-2, and I encourage all parents to do the same, just because you never know what's gonna happen. And even if you don't think that that's something you do want to teach your kid, it's really up to you. I personally feel like it's a great idea, so that way even if she does go outside and like another little kid ends up having an asthma attack, she still knows what to do in that situation. So it's up to you whether you want to teach them or not. It is not bad parenting. They're still able to be kids. They're just, kids with knowledge, on what it is to do in an emergency situation, which not a lot of parents do teach their kids, So that's how I do it. That's how I did it. And I encourage you guys to do the same, just in case. So, yeah. Okay, guys, so shouts out to Tammy for this next one. And this one is how to get your kids to stop sleeping with you. Let me tell you guys something. I love my kids dearly, but sleeping with them is like a horror movie, a karate movie, a romance, a thriller, a freaking everything all in one. Like, I get toes in my hair, I have scratches on my face. Let me tell you something. I'll be on the left side of the bed, okay, in one little corner, and these kids have the rest of the bed, and they still manage to find me. It's annoying. So I can completely understand why she does not want her kids sleeping with her anymore, because I don't even want my kids sleeping with me. And how I broke them out of that habit is like this. You just gotta do it. They're gonna cry, they're gonna fuss, they're gonna fight, but it just has to be done. What I started doing was I would have them in their room and I would sit in the room with them until they fall asleep. And a great way to do that, to be honest, so you don't get bored and end up falling asleep yourself, is read them a bedtime story. I do that with my daughter and it really seems to work. So I'll go in their room with them, I'll read them a bedtime story, I'll read about 2-3 chapters before they actually fall asleep, and that's it. With the baby, I do have to lay down with her a little bit, and then she'll fall asleep, but once I leave, they stay out. But the key is you gotta do it in their own room, in their own bed, not in yours. Because once you do it in yours, they're going to get accustomed to it, and they're not going to want to leave, and they're just going to think, oh, it's okay, and we don't want that. So we put them in their room, you give them a bath, you make sure they're ready to sleep, you lay them down, you talk to them a bit, you read them their story, make sure they're nice and tucked in their bed. And then once they are, and you see their eyes closed, and you keep reading for a bit, like maybe 2 more minutes, and then you run like hell. You get out of there. You run out of that room as quickly and as quietly as you possibly can. You do not look back. Do not, run. Run. Because if they wake up, you're screwed. So that is what you do. You read to them. You make sure they're comfortable. Once you see their eyes closed, you read for like 2 more minutes, and then you run like hell. You run. And when you close that door, you make sure you close it in properly. And you make sure for like the next 30 minutes, you don't make any overly loud noises so they don't wake up. And then once you're in the clear zone, you go about your night. I do that, and it seems to work for me. And I have no complaints. Because, listen, it's better than my neck, my back, my head, my everything hurting. I can't do it. I can't do it. There's some moms who, their kid is like 4 or 5, 6 sleeping with them. You guys are saints. I can't do that. Man, you guys have your own room and your own bed for a reason. Don't use mine. Like, nah, I'm not. Nope. I can't do it. It hurts. Sleeping with kids hurt. They beat you up. They fight you in their sleep. So you can't even get mad at them because they don't even know what they're doing. But no. Nope. So again, rule number 1, you make sure they're in their bed. You give them their nice bath, give them their little calming. Like for my daughter, she'll take her bath, she'll drink her tea in her bed, read her bedtime story, her eyes closed. I keep talking for maybe 2-3 more minutes, and then I run like hell. Okay? The run like hell is the very important part. You run like hell. So after that is all you have to do. And there you go. Everybody, shouts out to Natalie for this question, and it is how to tell your kids that you and your partner are separating. Me personally, I have never had to have this conversation with my daughter. We do have moments where me and my boyfriend argue and one of us leave for a couple days, and my daughter does ask a lot of questions like, when's daddy coming home? What's going on? Are you guys okay? Are you guys not going to stay together? And so on and so forth. If I did ever have to break that kind of news to her, this is how I would do it. First of all, I don't think it should be done by one person. I think both you guys, as parents, have to sit your child down and let them know, because at the end of the day, you guys made that choice together to separate. It's not fair for one parent to have to do it so that parent looks like the bad guy. You guys still have to be a united front for your children, even though you guys are not together or choosing not to be together. So I would sit our kid down, both of us together. We'll let them know, like, listen, we love you. This isn't your fault, because kids always think everything is their fault. No matter what it is, they always think it's their fault. So I would start off by saying, listen, we love you. This is not your fault, but mommy and daddy are choosing to go our separate ways. I would even sit there and tell her, when you and your sister don't get along, you know how you guys go on timeouts? Or if you just have one kid, be like, listen, you know how when you do something wrong, you go on timeout? Well, mommy and daddy are taking a timeout because mommy and daddy can't get along with each other. I would put it in a way where, a child would get it without saying too much to make them question too much, So I'd be like, listen, mommy and daddy are on a timeout because mommy and daddy can't get along, and mommy and daddy aren't being nice to each other, so mommy and daddy can't talk to each other right now. And however else it goes about from there, I don't know. I would hope that she would just say, okay, mommy, and understand that, we're in trouble and leave it as that. But I do feel like it's important that both you guys have to sit down and have that conversation and put it in a way where, your child understands, and don't have no hate or animosity towards each other when you guys are doing it, because kids sense and pick up on that stuff. Kids, they know. They're not stupid. They're very intelligent, and they feed off your vibe. I know a lot of people don't think that is true, but it is true. Kids really feed off your vibe. So when you guys do it, you guys really gotta put on your big kid face, your nothing bothers me face, and just sit your child down and talk to your child and let your child know this is not your fault. We love you, but mommy and daddy aren't good together right now. We're not getting along. So both mommy and daddy are in trouble, and mommy and daddy can't talk to each other for a little bit. And hopefully that works. If it doesn't, I mean, it's a tricky situation. There's not much you can do. Regardless if you go about it this way or not, your kid is still gonna have questions. Kids always do. After a couple days, your child will look at you and, ask you again. And you just kind of gotta stick to your story and, and make sure everybody is on the same page, because family likes to not be on the same page as you, and family will sit there and be like, okay, well, your mom and your dad, this, and that. No. Shut it down and make sure everybody is on the same page. This is the story that you told your child. This is the story that everybody is going to tell your child. And that's how I would go about it. Again, you got to make sure everybody's on the same page. Make sure both you guys do it together. And make sure that when you guys are sitting down talking to your kid, when your kid does ask you questions, both you guys answer them accordingly. And just get along. For that little bit of time, just get along. That's what I would do. Alright guys, so this next topic is my topic, and it's kids and certain toys. And I had gotten into a little argument with somebody on Facebook because he said something that I found to be extremely stupid, and I don't care who this clip offends. It's not my problem. It's my blog. I can say whatever the hell I please. So he said that giving my black child a white Barbie is going to hurt her self-esteem. Bullshit. Bullshit. And let me tell you why. My daughter has black Barbies. She has white Barbies. She has purple Barbies. She has blue Barbies. She has a Barbie that looks like a damn cat. You get what I'm saying? You think my daughter cares about the color of the Barbie? No. She's just happy that she has a Barbie. You understand what I'm saying? And I feel like at the end of the day, we all know our kids are our future leaders. They're the future. And I will be damned if I sit here and I teach my child of the future to only see color. Because that's not how the world is going to become a better place. No, that's how segregation and everything is going to continue. I'm not going to tell my child, no, you can only play with a black Barbie because that's the Barbie that looks like you. There's not only black people in the world. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm not going to do that. Yes, there's a difference between keeping your child connected to their roots and just being ridiculous. Do you understand? As parents, we see color. As parents, we see all of this stuff, and it's up to us to teach our kids. And I feel like we should be teaching our kids better. I'm not gonna go sit there and make my child only watch black shows and make my kid only play with black Barbies. That's not the way the world works. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that. My child doesn't care what color her Barbie is. And I'm not going to teach my child to care about what color her Barbie is, because that does not matter. My child knows the difference in skin tones. And to be honest with you, my family is so mixed colored, it's ridiculous. My boyfriend is dark skinned. My daughter is lighter than me. I don't even understand my skin tone because, I'm two different colors sometimes. And my second born, she's friggin' in between both me and her dad. So it's damn, we're just all over the place over here. So I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not just gonna teach my child, okay, you can only play with black Barbies. Furthermore, I don't understand how my child having a white Barbie is even doing anything to her self-esteem. Because for any of those that know my kid, she ain't got no self-esteem problems. That child is conceited. She looks herself in the mirror and kisses up the mirror. She is conceited. She is conceited, to a maximum. She has no self-esteem problems. I feel like only making her play with one color Barbie doll will give her certain self-esteem issues. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm not going to raise her like that. I'm going to raise her better. At the end of the day, these kids, again, are our future. And if we want a better future, we need to show them better. You get what I'm saying? You don't show them to only see color. You don't show them to only see race. You don't do that, because that's how things are never gonna change. And I am not gonna teach my daughter that. And I felt like that was a very stupid comment on his part, and I said it straight. I'm like, you know what, you're an idiot. Bottom line, point blank, you're dumb. And my child's confidence it's great. Her self-esteem is great. She has no problems with that. And me giving her a white Barbie is not gonna affect that. The only way you giving your child a white Barbie is gonna affect her self-esteem is if you make it. Is if you tell her, oh, listen, you can only play with this color Barbie. No, there's not only that color people in the world. You don't have to just stick to your own kind. No, man, I don't know. You guys could agree with me, you guys could disagree with me, but I'm not gonna do that. And I don't feel like parents should do that. I don't feel like parents should look at their kid and be like, oh, because you're black, you should only play with black dolls. Or because you're white, you should only play with white dolls. Bro, little kids are into so much. Like, my daughter is into all these little princesses. My daughter loves Elsa. Elsa don't come in black. What the hell? Like, my kids are watching Moana right now. Moana don't come in white. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to stop all that nonsense, bro. Stop teaching your kids to only see color. Alright, guys. That video kind of cut out abruptly. My bad. But, thank you so much for watching. If you're new, like and subscribe. If you're not new, thank you for tuning in. Like. See you guys Wednesday. Wednesday is Relationship Wednesday. You guys already know the drill. You guys have any questions, reach out to me. If you don't, just watch. And again, thank you. Have a good night.